Okay. Hello, this is Mike Bizan. I'm going to be streaming today. I'm going to be working on stuff, and I'm not going to be reviewing anyone's animation, but feel free to work on your own stuff alongside, or just watch and listen to the music. And basically, let me make sure the sound is working. Should have some Castlevania music in the background. Oh, I got a stupid ad. I'm checking out my other computer. I just ran out of my YouTube Premium. The only reason I bought that was to get rid of the ads. Okay, it sounds good. Yeah, so on screen right now is just like a random loop I've been working on. Some kind of trippy sea creature type stuff. But today I'm working on this logo animation of a comic book lion, and I'll show you the process so far. So the first thing I did was make some thumbnails like this to show the story. So it goes from left to right. Basically, the plan is that the lion starts out on a side profile view, and then he'll do a roar like the MGM lion, and the border is gonna liquefy and spiral around, and then as the lion starts to come down, the liquid will start to reform around the border, but then the lion will do a second roar and everything will blast out, like kind of like the Kirby Crackles, that comic artist. They called the Kirby Crackle, where it's like these little, this little effect you see in comic books. Then everything will start to reform. The Cosmic Lion logo will reform, and then we'll get back into the side view, back to frame 1. So this will be a complete loop. And I think what I'm going to do for the words is kind of have them just boiling. So this is what their logo looks like. So I think I'm just gonna trace the Cosmic Lion words and just trace it a few times, and maybe like 3 frames, and I'll have the word kind of like, imagine that's the sea, and then on a boil you just trace something a few times, just slightly different each time. And I'll put it on a low frame rate, 10 FPS. So you can see, like, imagine all the letters doing that where it's boiling. That's a technique you see a lot in kind of, I guess, lower budget type animations, or stuff where the art is very simple. You see it in the first season, like Home Movies, they did that. Also, they called it squiggle vision, but you see it in lots of cartoons, especially around the 90s. See, like Ed, Edd n Eddy did lion boils a lot. What's up, Adler? So, basically, this is my progress so far. The lion does a head turn, and then he goes into a big roar. I'm gonna have it hold for a beat, and then I can have the stuff going around. And then stuff's gonna fly out like this. This is the border. I'm gonna zoom in a bit. Turn my light box on. Just kind of doing some in-betweens on this head turn right now to make the motion a little more smooth. Now I'm just kind of tracking the nose. Let's make the brush a little smaller. So I'm just getting this nose going on an arc first, and I'll go over and focus on the other parts. Sometimes I like to turn the light box off just to see more clearly the particular frame I'm working on. Ooh. It's 4 degrees out right now. Kind of like a snowstorm where I'm at right now. So I'm glad I went to the store yesterday because I was completely out of bananas. And one thing I've noticed is I'm always sad if I don't eat a banana every day. I think I have a banana deficiency. So I bought 20 bananas. They're all pretty green, so hopefully they'll last me a couple weeks. But I usually eat at least 2 bananas every day, sometimes 3. Okay. I need to bring this nose up a bit. See what this looks like so far. Some parts might be a tiny bit wonky, but it's okay if it's a little punk rock. Sure the chin is kind of strong. I want to have a not straight up square jaw, but it's like curving on the edges, but the jaw needs to be pretty strong. And he's wearing headphones, so I'll have to in between those. What's up, Mike Johnson? Yes, bananas vital to brain function. They just go good with everything. cereal, oatmeal, banana sandwich. Well, it might not go good with pizza. I don't know. Never tried banana pizza. Some people are very against adding fruits to pizza. Vegetables seem to be less controversial of a topping, which is interesting because it seems like in general people are more likely to like fruit than vegetables if you just are eating them by themselves, because fruits are sweeter. Giving this lion some thick eyelash or eyelids, like this stuff around the eyeball. Just has white eyes, like kind of thick black border. Definitely gonna need another in-between between the starting pose. Have it ease into the motion a little more. It's kind of popping straight into the head turn a little too fast. I'm a new sub, found your channel today. The tail animation tutorial was very helpful. Awesome, so glad to hear that. Yes, the tail animation was all about the wave principle. And it's something I use a lot in this kind of more surreal type stuff, where it's all about fluid motion. Getting these like kind of whippy type motions in here. Here's a better example. Probably. Well, this one's actually pretty weird. This one actually isn't the best. I have some weird stuff in here. Let's see. Still need to color this. I'm working on this one still, but you can see like this finger here on the right side of the screen, how it's doing the whippy tail motion. The like weird little tail finger thing. But yeah, the tail exercises can apply it to clothing, hair, and obviously like sea creature type tentacles. It just helps things feel more fluid. And I just posted a lightning tutorial. It's all about how to animate more convincing lightning effects. And I also posted a PDF of it on my Patreon that has lightning formulas that show you various ways to animate lightning frame by frame. So I see something kind of weird happening here with the nose, where it's changing form a little bit too fast and weird. Need to make this change more gradual. The angle of the nose needs to change a little more gradually. Yeah, I already got like most of these keys in here, but now I'm kind of just going over and checking proportions of things, kind of trying to polish up the movements, because if things are too jittery, then it doesn't look cool. I'm seeing like there's just some stuff going on with the nose here. Okay, I think this is starting to look better. After I get the head in, I'm gonna track these hair parts. I always do the hair last because the hair is pulled along by the head. So you want to animate the hair first, since that's the hair is secondary animation. This part's a little tricky with these headphones turning. Hello, Angie K. How are you? I'm just kind of doing an impromptu stream. But I'm gonna do more art reviews on Sundays. Yeah. Last Sunday, 2 days ago, was the first art review stream I ever did. Just sharing some people's animations that they posted in my Discord. and that's where I'm going to be looking at people's stuff and then sharing their stuff live on stream on Sundays, probably around 5 p.m. So, but throughout the week, I'm just going to be kind of streaming randomly, just as I feel like it, working on random stuff. So everyone is free to watch or listen or just have it in the background, work on your own stuff. The eyes are the most important thing because that's what people look at right away and for the longest. So if you have mistakes in your animation, you definitely don't want to have the mistakes happening on or around the eyes, because that's where people's focus goes when you look at a picture. You immediately look at the eyes. I just have to make sure that these eyes are tracking well. Love drinking water. I think tomorrow, well, maybe not tomorrow, but the next time I stream, either tomorrow or the day after, I think I'm going to stream working on electricity effects. So this is the down position right here before he goes up. So his head turns around, goes down before it goes up into the roar. I added extra exposures down here because I want this to last a little longer. So on my timeline I expose these for 2 extra frames, but I'm gonna delete the second exposure and add in-betweens, so it'll be a little smoother but last as long. Just figuring out the timing on this. I'm kind of having the little eyebrows, or I guess these are the upper eyelashes, I'm not sure. I'm having them do like a little flap motion where they're coming down and then they're gonna flap down before they go up. Just adding little flourishes like this makes stuff feel a little more dynamic. Oh yes, Castlevania music. I haven't played the games too much, but I love the soundtracks. I had a Dawn of Sorrow on the DS. And I used to play the first Castlevania game on the NES. But mostly I would just find a place where I couldn't die and just jam out to the music for a little bit. Did that with a lot of those 16-bit games. So a lot of them were so hard. 8-bit and 16-bit era. Especially when you didn't have save states. So sometimes I'd get to a level I really like, and like the reward for getting there was that I got to hear the cool music. But then Sonic 2 on the Genesis released with a sound test. It might have been the first game or one of the first games to have a sound test option where you can listen to the level music. I was like doing that because I couldn't get very far on that game when I was a kid, but I could listen to the songs of the later levels and imagine what those levels might be like. Of course, this was before the popularity of the internet and before YouTube was invented, so there was a lot more mystery to the media you were engaging with, be it video games, movies, especially video games. So many urban legends about cheats and secret things that could happen. Like with Pokemon, there was Masingo and the rare candy trick. And it turned out that a lot of these myths ended up being true. So then when I heard other myths like if you caught Masingo, your Game Boy could explode and people got injured from that. Well, there was an element of believability there because other aspects of the rumors were true. So, and who would want to risk destroying their Game Boy? So that, obviously I wasn't going to test that out as a scientific experiment to test out the hypothesis because the risk was far greater than the reward. I mean, the only reward would be finding out if the myth was true. So I am a little nostalgic for that time period. It might also just be being a kid, everything is more kind of new and magical in general. But there is something to be said for that time period in the 90s where you really did have to wait for things and you couldn't just instantly get the answers to everything. But as an adult, I am totally okay with watching a walkthrough if I get stuck for more than 10 minutes because when you get older, you realize time is extremely valuable and precious. And I don't have time to be walking around a dungeon in Zelda for 2 hours without finding the key. Sometimes, so I give myself like a 10-minute test period where if I can't figure this thing out in 10 minutes, then that is my license to use a cheat or look at a YouTube video. Because, I mean, playing games should be, for me anyways, it should be about imagination, experiencing new worlds, stress relief, escapism, getting inspired. I don't need to be frustrated. I'm frustrated enough just being alive daily. It's my daily living. There's plenty of frustrations. I don't need video games to add to that. But I understand for a lot of people that is part of the fun. And it just depends on what you need out of the game. I haven't heard of the Game Boy exploding rumor. Well, I was homeschooled, so it might have just been in my super small homeschool community where that rumor got passed around. There was also something about Bill's truck, something about the Safari guy. Can't really remember all of them anymore, but going through the sound test was fun as a kid. Remember the Primal Rage one and every roar of the different monsters' attacks, including a fart attack sound. Wow. Yeah, sound effects in those early games are pretty interesting because they're often just glitchy type stuff, but once you pair it with the visual it makes sense. But if you hear it in isolation it might not make sense. There's definitely an art form to sound effect design. Alright, so now I'm going to flip this horizontally. Sometimes I just kind of go back and forth between flipping stuff as I'm animating on it to make sure it's gonna read well from the opposite direction. Also helps you catch mistakes. Because after this lion roars once, he's gonna roar in the opposite direction. I'm just gonna copy and paste the frame so I don't have to animate him roaring again. So I can see here his jaw is jutting out a little too far compared to the other frames. Like here it's more contained. Jaw in a little bit. His mouth will start to open a little bit. So this is this head turn is gonna be on 10 frames a second, 30 frames per second, the project file, but I'm gonna do this head turn on 3s, so it'll effectively be 10 frames per second. Thought about doing it 15 frames per second, so I would add twice as many frames here, but I'm gonna try to get away with not having to add in-betweens and just have the frames I'm drawing now will be the full range of motion, but I'll do it at a slightly lower frame rate so that the action reads a little better. And I'm hoping that because the lion's not moving all over the screen with really wide spacing, I can get away with doing a lower frame rate to have the frames be less amount of drawings but also still work well. So this is what it's like at 10 frames per second, and I think this could work because I'm gonna animate the stuff happening around the border on a faster frame rate, so having these mixed frame rates will hopefully make things feel smooth enough. So I'll just have to be extra mindful of the spacing here. And when we do the cleanup, I'm going to be using this kind of brush I'm using right now. It's kind of scratchy type. There's like a subtle texture to it. It's not perfectly smooth. I'll either be using that one or this other cleanup brush I use that's got like a pen ink type texture to it. Because I don't like just like perfect round pixels. I like there to be a little bit more of the handmade analog feel to it. Oh man. I started this yesterday. So it's actually going a little faster than I thought it would, but I don't want to get too excited because I was working on a smoke animation that I thought would not take that long, and well, I was very wrong about that because I have to redo some stuff, but hopefully it won't be too bad. So I'll just show you what I'm talking about. See here. So I had to animate like a smoke, pink smoke, and it's gonna have stars. I have to redo the stars. So this is what it's like right now. So that's kind of what it is right now. It's a loop of smoke. The cell shading took a long time on the smoke. There's 2 layers of cell shading for the shadows. And It's kind of stuttering, probably on the playback for some reason. Let's see here. Oh, and it needs to be on 12. Okay, it needs to slow down a little bit. Alright, so yeah. Each of these stars is animated on their own loop. And so yeah, they're just like pulsating stars. But the issue is I kind of misunderstood the assignment, and the stars actually need to be animating up with the smoke individually, like this. So this is my test drawing. Actually, what needs to be happening is these stars need to be kind of tracking, going from the bottom all the way up and then dissipating. And the stars will be like growing in size, rotating, and then dissipating, shrinking at the end. So I have to redo that, and yeah. It's kind of depressing because I thought I was done with this, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. I can't wait to get new glasses. Went to the eye doctor last Monday. But yeah, I'm kind of saving my money right now till I can get glasses and stuff. Alright, I'm gonna twist this guy back. Okay, I think I'm just gonna be okay on this for right now. And I'm gonna think about how to morph this logo. So once this happens, something like this. Yeah, on the roar, the border of the logo is gonna kind of do this liquidy spiral thing. This part will get all goopy and cell shaded. Okay. this will kind of pulsate out like this. Break apart into a little ball type thing. Oh, but this needs to be on 2s. So here. I don't know about that. Come back to this idea. Call this liquid rough idea. This will be more explosive. That's a little more. How this kind of going in different directions a little bit. I'm just using this 1-point perspective as a guide. Okay. Okay. I'll still have these Kirby crackles happening in the background here. This is just planning out some of the motion. Obviously, when we go over this on a clean layer, I'll polish things up, but I still want to have these kind of scribbly type textures. I think that'll make stuff feel really nice, especially since this is for a comic book logo animation. It'll fit the style to have these like kind of scribbly type textures. Right, let's just feel the timing of this right now. Okay, I'll have these little ball things forming. Alright, I guess I'm gonna be done for right now. You can see the progress on the next stream. I'll probably have more of this done. And also check out the last stream on the live stream area, where you can see I reviewed some people's art and animation. And also be sure to watch the lightning tutorial. And also my Patreon is half off until the end of the month. It's like $1.50 on the lowest tier. You can download PDFs. You can also access my fire animation course. The full course is on Patreon. And you can also see storyboards and behind the scenes stuff. And what else? I guess that's about it. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next stream and the next videos. So peace out. Catch you later, animator.